Hey, everybody. John Granato, Lance Zierlein. We are on the bench. Mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Lance is pressing right now. He's hitting subscribe to SportsMap HOU. He's done it. You should, too, so that you get all of our content here. Hey, Lance, Jay Kaplan wrote an article on The Athletic this week proposing the idea of starting Framber in Game 1, McCullers in Game 2, Garcia 3, and then Framber again with 3 days rest in Game 4, and then McCullers on full rest, if possible, Game 5. What do you think?
He needs to mind his own business, Jake Kaplan. He needs to do. I don't know. I don't know why. Somebody's going to have to explain that to me.
Framber can actually bounce back better than anybody. Apparently, he's going to be better with less rest than anybody.
Okay.
So, and then McCullers, you've got him, who's your ace in a possible Game 5 situation. So McCullers, you don't want to bring back on short rest. We know he's had arm issues in the past. Framber hasn't thrown as many pitches this year because of his hand. So Framber is probably feeling better. I don't know. Here's the deal. To me, Urquidy is on a short leash in Game 4. And if you know what, then you go to Odorizzi or Greinke.
You're for sure Garcia's 3. Not Urquidy.
More than likely Garcia's
okay.
3. More than likely Garcia's 3. And he's on a short leash as well. You know what? I'm not crazy about Garcia on the road in Game 3, but oh well. That's what you're going to do.
You know what? Here's
you
what
want to get out to with your best 2 pitchers to get out to a lead. I get it.
Here's what you love. If you're up 2-1, you don't go Framber. If you're down 1-2, you could go Framber, and then you have Urquidy as your jump in if you need to within the first 3 innings. It'll make some sense. You know, you would have Urquidy. Now, if you're willing to do that with Urquidy, I guess the argument would be, why not just start Urquidy if you're willing to do that?
Right.
But, with Framber, because of the way he throws, maybe that benefits his arm a little bit, having one less day of rest. Some of his breaking pitches might be, as long as he's getting the spin rate on him, might be a mile per hour or 2 slower, which might help some of the breaking pitches move a little bit more. I get what he's saying. You're still having Lance McCullers in the deciding Game 5. I see where Jake Kaplan's coming from. I don't think the Astros will go in that direction, but when you really flesh it out and work through it, it's not the craziest idea to do something like that, especially with Urquidy being able to stack onto Framber if you need him to in Game 4.
Yeah, that was another one of his ideas. We'll talk about that, but you know what's a really good idea? Giving your car to kids.
So listen, if you get a car or truck or SUV or RV, I don't care what it is, motorcycle, and you say, well, I'm not going to give this to kids. This is a piece of junk. It's just sitting here. It's horrible. No one can drive this. Perfect. Cars for Kids want to come out there and pick your junk up. They'll haul that junk off your property for free. They'll even give you a $50 Visa gift card and a tax write-off so you can write off the car and not the kid. You can pretend like you did something good for young people looking for a second chance at an education, when in reality, you just got a tax write-off and got that junk off your property. Carsforkids.org.
One of the other ideas that Jake Kaplan had, he proposed, well, we talked about it a little bit, Urquidy out of the bullpen, which means that Urquidy maybe can piggyback with McCullers, he can piggyback with Framber, or you can use him in multiple games. Question is, you're down 2-1 heading into Game 4. Would you rather have Framber on 3 days rest or Urquidy?
I mean, me personally, I'd rather go Urquidy. And it's not like Urquidy's been a killer since he's come back. He's been solid. He's been there before. The difference is you don't go Urquidy Framber. You would potentially go Framber Urquidy. It would look more like, depending on how it jumped off, it would really look more like Urquidy Greinke or Urquidy Odorizzi is what that game would look like. And honestly, I think I'd rather go Urquidy and take my chances than go a Framber on short rest. Yeah. It's just Framber just hasn't been consistent enough finding a strike zone here recently.
Well, now all of a sudden it's like desperation mode. If you're going to do what he likes,
but
Framber
it is,
in Game 1 and Game 4, because you haven't thrown him on 3 days rest. Matter of fact, they've been going 5 days rest for a part of this season because they had a 6-man rotation. So now you're going to go 3 days rest and you're throwing Odorizzi, Greinke, and Urquidy in the bullpen, something none of them have done except Greinke the other day. So I mean, you're now all of a sudden you're doing stuff. Everything is different than you've done all season long. And I don't know that doesn't just stink of desperation.
But it is desperation. Once you get to the playoffs, if you're down 2-1, that's desperation. Losing, you go home. So I can understand it. I mean, being a little desperate, you have to do whatever you can to survive and move on. So the desperation thing doesn't bother me. It's just figuring out who gives you the best chance. And a lot of that may depend on how Framber pitches in game one. If Framber doesn't pitch great, then you don't want to bring him back on short rest. If Framber pitches really, really well, and let's say pitch count goes to 93, 94, and he goes 5 2/3, maybe you would bring him back. Maybe you would.
I think it's the exact opposite. Because if he doesn't throw a lot of pitches, then you're not worried about him on 3 days rest. But if he throws 93 pitches, now you're only going to give him 3 days rest, something he hasn't done all season long after 93 pitches?
Yeah, but John, if he didn't throw a lot of pitches, that means he didn't do very well.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring that guy in?
Well, I mean, it's either way. I think you're doing stuff that you haven't done all year. I'm not for it. Urquidy game 4, let's go. Beat him. Beat him in 4. Beat him in 3, and then we don't have to worry about Urquidy in game 4.
Let's go.